Good morning, I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations, small businesses, and nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they're here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some old friends today. In 1999, Gap Ministries began by caring for foster children in the homes of the organization's founders, and that aspect of the ministry has grown over the years, and depending on the need, from 7 to 14 family-style group homes. Gap cares for approximately 250 kids each year, with teens making up 51%. Splash houses are staffed with full-time live-in house parent couples and support staff who have a desire to share God's unconditional love with the children in their care. Today, I'm fortunate to speak with Tiane Kennedy, Public Relations and Development Director of Gap Ministries. Tiane, welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
I'm excited to talk to you. We've talked, I believe, a while back, so welcome back to Lifestyle Tucson. Your organization's very great. Anyone can learn all about it over at gapmin.com. That's where you find them online. And today we're going to talk a little bit about it because you're a part of the series that we are covering, including the Arizona tax credit. So we're talking all about you because now you're a part of this amazing organization, the Arizona Christian Tax Credit Alliance. It's bringing together 7 tax credit eligible nonprofits that love God and love to serve others. So let's talk about your organization. Give us a little 101 on what Gap Ministries is all about.
I'd be glad to. So what you said at the beginning, it did start in the home of our founders 25 years ago. We're going into our 26th year this year. And they cared for children, and they also began a food pantry out of their garage.
Wow.
They felt like they were called to care for the widows, the orphans, the hungry, and the naked. So started with kids and a food pantry, and now Gap has grown to be kids. We have a large warehouse that we distribute about $6 million worth of products, food and products out into the community every year.
Wow.
We have a commercial kitchen that feeds low-income individuals, seniors, and then we also have a career training program. So we're doing a lot in the community. And I guess I would explain it to people that our heart has always been with the children. But we figured out several years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago, we talked about it and said we could be caring for foster kids from now till eternity, and it would just never stop. So what can we do? What can we do at Gap to get in front of the problem if possible and keep kids from ever coming into us? Or after they already are with us, what are some things we can do to heal families, help families get things back together so that their kids can be with them? And we do more to change the society. It's, breaking cycles of poverty and abuse because we see it being so cyclical. A kid that's in foster care, his parents were in foster care. And we want to break those cycles.
Breaking those cycles is actually a really big part and something that no one really understands unless you're working with it every day and you start to see patterns. You're looking as close as anybody. So you do notice this. So noticing that that's what it is very important and smart that you grew and changed some of what your initial idea was to really involve the community. And again, kids need the help, but having smart, intelligent teens and adults is definitely what we need to have help with. We got to turn them into that.
Right. It helps all of us if those kids don't end up going into the prison system or being on the streets as addicts or having more kids who are in the foster care system. It benefits all of us to help them get their lives in order and see that they have potential.
Yeah. And that's why, again, we're talking about this Arizona tax credit. And that's why you might be one of the organizations that folks decide to donate to, because that's what we're covering, that you get your tax credit, everybody gets it, and you get to pick several nonprofits to use it on. I even thought and just learned while doing this that you can spread it around. You can give it to several organizations. You can give a little bit to all these organizations that are part of this great umbrella that we're talking about today. So let's talk about just real quick, why do you feel that people should donate some of their tax credit donation or really just donate to you and your organization?
That's a good question. And also, can I say to all the Tucsonans listening, and Southern Arizonans, it's also a win because we keep the money. We keep your tax dollars here in Pima County.
Yes.
Instead of sending them up to the state capitol where they can be dispersed anywhere. So I see it a win in that way, too. No matter who you give to, choose to do those tax credits and keep your money in our own community.
Right.
Doing some good work. But as far as Gap, we do the foster care tax credit. We qualify for that because we care for, there's some certain rules to that. Over 50% of what we do is for foster kids. We care for over 200 kids a year. There's some rules to why we get that one. But we're not, with the money, we're not just caring for foster kids. We're doing some of these other auxiliary programs that end up helping foster kids. For instance, the career training, when we began doing that, what we found that it was a lot of people coming from incarceration, and a lot of those people had either been foster kids themselves or their kids were in foster care.
Wow.
And it's been so cool to see the full circle. We've had, a mother go through our culinary program, and when she finished, get a job, get stable housing, and the judge being able to give her kids back and let her parent her kids. So that's been really exciting to us to see how we can help families get on their feet again so that they can be with their kids.
Yeah. Remember, helping these kids out, it's just temporarily. You want them to be with their birth parents. That's
Exactly.
always the thing that some people forget, or it's misconstrued.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone likes to almost, dare I say, make these caricatures of what a person is, a homeless person. They don't believe that it is like, I'm between jobs, or there's something, there was a misstep, there was something wrong, and I just need this help. And you providing people, it's not just a job, it's a career. And that's huge, to be able to take care of themselves forever. Because you can start with that career knowledge. In the culinary arts is a huge career path for folks.
Right.
There are so many that you have available in your career training. Yeah. So that's what it is. You're giving people, in a way, it's freedom. It's a freedom from being a victim of being, I can only work a part-time job, or maybe I never finished college or got to go to college. Giving them that career choice is huge, and that's going to make them that responsible adult that they need to be to prove to a judge. That judge wants that kid to be with their family, because they want to see that that family is a responsible for their kid and there for themselves.
It's neat because one of the programs we have is supervised visitation, where we have visits with the birth families with their children while they're in foster care. And our whole staff in that area has some experience in the foster care arena. And the director actually was a kinship carer for her younger siblings. When she was 21, she had her 5 younger siblings because her parents both fell into addiction. They're doing great now. Their family's good. And, that was years and years ago. But what she always says is, we're seeing these families at the worst possible time in their lives, the lowest. Everything fell apart. The crisis hit. Their kids were removed. And for those who are going to supervised visits, they're trying to do what they need to do to reunite their family.
Yeah.
So if we can give them hope, if we can give them tools, we can support them. I mean, that is the ideal thing for any kid, if possible.
And hope's the key word as I talk to all of your organizations in this special thing that I'm doing. Hope, hope, hope. Yeah. That is the word, is that you have to give people hope. Otherwise, they're not going to survive. They have to believe that there is that positive goal at the end. You got to fight that sense of dread. I always talk about that in my own life, that you always think something's going to be the worst. Don't think of the worst negative outcome, because that most likely will not happen, especially if you do the work and the good work of making yourself a good person again, educating yourself, getting that career goal, not giving up on yourself and not giving up on your kid. Just don't give up. Yep. And getting help from organizations like yours is exactly that. It's how you get help.
Well, and I think, Frank, too, I know who else has been in here to talk to you, and I think every one of us could say that there's people in organizations that are working with the people that come in that have overcome those things.
Yes,
they were
100%.
Homeless. They were drug addicts. Mm-hmm. They were, and that, I think, gives people the biggest hope. When you see there's somebody, and now they have a family, they have kids, they have a career, they are a house. So many people we see coming out of incarceration, they want the American dream. Mm-hmm. And because of certain things, where they grew up or situations they got into, the wrong crowds, it's really hard to get that American dream that we all have.
Yeah.
But they want it. And if we can give them the hope to say, look, I was like you. We have a guy that lived under a bridge for 5 years, and now he's, for 14 years, he's been clean and sober and helping other people. And you're like, wow, that they can look at that and go, okay, if he could do it, I could do it.
That's
and we
right.
also tell them, I think people that have been through it can also call out any kind of excuses they can make, like, sorry, that's not an excuse. Mm-hmm. If I could do it, you could do it, but you got to just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, keep on keeping on is right. Anything is possible, and seeing is believing.
Right.
That's why it is about meeting folks that have overcome this. I was once in your situation. Mm-hmm. You can do it. Or I was once in a situation worse than yours, living under a bridge for 5 years. Yeah. That is quite the trial.
Well, and like in our culinary program, a lot of the students, what they're doing is they're helping us make meals for low-income homeless shelters, children in low-income schools. They're going out and serving people. And there's nothing better than when you feel like you've done a lot of things wrong or you're a bad person, and then you serve others and you see their life, like you said, is even worse than what yours was. It makes you feel so much better about yourself.
Yes.
You're giving back. You're helping others.
Yep. And volunteering. So we're talking a lot about, if you can't donate your time, you donate your money. That's what we're talking about with our tax credits, with organizations like yours and nonprofits. Donate, help them out. That's why they survive. It's how they survive and it's how they thrive. But they also thrive based on donate yourself. Donate. If you can't donate your money, donate your time. Help them out. Go get involved. How can people volunteer?
I'll tell you what, we have the greatest volunteers. And if you come and volunteer, the only warning I have is you may never leave because you're going to enjoy it so much. We have volunteers in our warehouse that have been with us as long as I've been. I've been at Gap 14 years. We have volunteers that have been there that long, coming every Tuesday for 3 hours. It's their family.
Wow.
They love it. And so there's something special about that. I think it makes you feel good. It
does.
They have a lot of fun together. So I guarantee if you come and volunteer, you're going to get more out of it than you give. So it'll be a win-win.
Again, I always talk about this fact is loneliness is an epidemic. The Surgeon General has declared it. If you would like to make friends, you go volunteer. You just heard what she said. They're all friends. They're like a family.
Yep.
That's important.
And you don't have to think, it's not like a cocktail party. We have to make small talk. You're busy. You're doing things. So don't feel pressure. You're just coming and sorting some things, putting them out. You see people coming in and smiling because you've helped them. And pretty soon you will feel like, wow, I know these people. We're serving together.
No, it's huge.
Absolutely.
It's huge. So how can people get involved besides, again, tax credit? You've got that. We've got volunteering. Just any last, calls to action for any of the folks listening?
Well, the only other one, and this is a small minority of people, but we always, always need foster families.
Okay.
We need foster families, and we also have the group homes. So we have individual foster families, and we also have the group homes, and we hire couples because it's family style. So if that's been on your heart to learn more about kids and caring for kids and loving kids, and once again, I think most people that have done that have found that they've gotten more out of it. It's scary. It's very scary, but you will find that you get more from it than anything. And so if there's somebody out there listening, we do have a shortage of foster families in town. We always do, because it takes a unique person that is willing to do that. But if something's tugging at your heart, check it out.
Yeah, it's something to think about. It's very important for you. And again, if something is tugging at your heart, absolutely follow that, because there is something to that. And I really do implore people, because no one's ever really asked for that. That's huge. I always tell people, volunteer, get involved. That's a big ask. That's important to spread that message, because that's really even just, if you tell someone, you might be helping a kid out. You might be helping a brother and sister stay together.
Right.
Yep. You might be helping a family that beyond belief. That's the butterfly effect. You might be saying something, and then 9 months down the road, a family's reunited because you happen to tell someone that told someone. So,
well, and just being there for somebody else. We had 33 adoptions last year.
Wow.
And I would say, I don't know the numbers exactly, but I can picture some of them. I know many of them were teens.
Okay.
And so you think of teens and adopting a teen, that sounds really hard, but hey, some of these teens are really good kids.
Sure.
And they just want to do the right thing, and they just need somebody to mentor them, walk beside them in life, and have fun with them. And so even if you're a single person and you're thinking, I wouldn't mind, seeing if I can help a teen, keep that in mind, because there's some really cool teens out there that just need a family.
Definitely. That's fascinating.
And it's short term. Just think about that. It's not like raising a 2-year-old all the way up.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
And then you have them back for Thanksgiving and all that, but it's like, they're halfway there. So you're just there for them to walk beside them as an adult and have some place to fall when life gets tough, somebody to call when, just like, I don't know what to do. Should I buy this car? My car broke down, whatever that, they need people that love them.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. Just one last thing. Any fun events that you have going on, or any events? I saw that you have tours on Thursdays.
Yeah, so come to our tours. I really encourage people to do that. The third Thursday of every month, we do a tour, and our Gap culinary team fixes a lunch. It's free lunch, a complimentary lunch.
Nice.
And then we tour the campus, our new campus where Gap is located. It's called the Campus of Hope. And it's about 5 acres, 4 big buildings, and you'll get to see each of the things we do. And It's a great, and each of the directors come out and talk to you about what they do in their department. So if you have any, just desire to see how to volunteer, or maybe know somebody you think that could get some help from us, we have a lot of organizations come that are looking for a place to help somebody that's struggling to find employment. Sometimes all of us in our families have young adults that are kind of floundering.
Mm-hmm.
Come take a tour and see if we can help you, or if it's someplace you'd like to get more involved with.
Bring those kids there because you can point them in the right direction. That's for sure.
You can bring kids to the tour.
Right.
Just let us, Go on our website. There's a thing you can push on to RSVP just so we know how many meals to make.
There you go. It's gatmin.com. They say there's no such thing as a free lunch. Come on.
It's good, too. Our culinary team makes good lunches.
I believe it. And today, we made friends with Tiane Kennedy, Public Relations and Development Director of GAP Ministries. GAP serves those in need because of their faith, but they serve indiscriminately, regardless of race, religion, or sexual orientation, because they believe God cares about all people. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Frank.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing bong bing, time for a recap. I really enjoyed my conversation with Tianne because this organization, GAP Ministries, does a lot. And also that closing statement is pretty bold and powerful, apparently, especially these days. So it's really nice to catch up with all these organizations. It's been a long time since I had talked to Tianne. She was on an earlier episode, very, very early, like episode 17 or something of Lifestyle Tucson. It's about 100 ago. And checking them out now and even seeing the growth. Since then, they just go, go, go. And now the Campus of Hope, I believe it was called. Again, hope being the key word, is amazing. Those tours are available on Thursdays, or at least that third Thursday. Go get that information for sure over at gapmin.com, as we were speaking about right there at the end, to follow them. But organizations like this, they're doing a lot. Get involved. I get preaching and go on for a little bit, and that's what I'm all about, because I like trying to get people to motivate themselves, stay positive. I believe in people, and that's why I say you just got to get going, pick yourself up, get a career. That life is freedom. I re-listen to this and hear what that sounds like, but at the same time, it's true. You can do it. I've seen it, and these people have done it because it's former, let me remind you, living under a bridge for 5 years. That person leads a fine, healthy life now because they've overcome what was holding them back. Some of those demons, as they say. But I'm really glad that we had this conversation. And remember, this is all about that tax credit. So the other website to remember is taxcreditas.org to check out if you choose them to be the recipient of your Arizona tax credit. So I want to thank our old friends at GAP Ministries for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible, or wherever fine podcasts are, bridging the gap. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Lifestyle Tucson, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers, and toot toot Tucson, I love you the most.